You ever notice something strange? Some people seem to attract toxic behavior everywhere they go. Someone constantly criticizes them. Someone manipulates them. Someone keeps taking advantage of them. And after a while, they start asking themselves a painful question. Why does this keep happening to me? If you've ever felt that, you're not alone. Because toxic people exist everywhere. In colleges, at workplaces, inside friend circles, sometimes even inside families. And here's the uncomfortable truth most people don't talk about. Toxic people don't choose their targets randomly. They look for signals. Signals of hesitation. Signals of self-doubt. Signals that someone won't push back. But here's the powerful part. Once you understand these signals, you can change them. And when that happens, something surprising occurs. Toxic people slowly stop targeting you. Not because they suddenly become kind, but because they realize something important. You are no longer an easy target. So in this video, we're going to talk about what actually makes toxic people back off. The mindset shifts, the behaviors, and the quiet boundaries that make manipulators lose interest in you. Because once you understand this, your confidence changes, your presence changes, and the way people treat you starts changing too. So let's start with the first thing toxic people secretly look for. The first thing that makes toxic people stop targeting you is when you stop seeking their approval. This is something many people don't realize. Toxic people often test others. They say something slightly disrespectful. They make a sarcastic comment. They criticize you in a subtle way, not always to hurt you directly, but to see how you react. If you immediately try to explain yourself, if you rush to defend your choices, if you try too hard to prove your worth, they learn something about you. They learn that your confidence depends on their approval. And once someone senses that, they know they can control the conversation. But something powerful happens when you stop doing that. When criticism appears, and you stay calm, no long explanations, no desperate defense, just quiet confidence. Suddenly, the dynamic changes. Because toxic people feed on reactions. They enjoy emotional responses. They enjoy seeing people trying to impress them. But when you remove that reaction, their power disappears. It becomes boring for them. And toxic people rarely stay where they cannot control emotions. So remember this idea carefully. Confidence is quiet. And when you stop chasing approval, you stop looking like an easy target. Now, the second thing that changes everything is something even simpler. The second thing that makes toxic people stop targeting you is when you start setting clear boundaries. Toxic people often test limits. They borrow your time without asking. They make jokes that cross the line. They expect you to always adjust. And if you keep tolerating it, they slowly push the line further. A little disrespect today, a little more tomorrow, until one day you realize your boundaries disappeared completely. But something powerful happens the moment you change this pattern. When you calmly say no, not aggressively, not emotionally, just clearly. I'm not comfortable with that, or I don't have time for that right now. These simple statements send a strong signal. You respect your time. You respect your space. And people who respect themselves are much harder to manipulate. At first, toxic people may push back. They might question you. They might try to guilt trip you because they are used to easy access. But when they realize the boundary is real, they slowly stop trying. Because toxic people prefer easy targets, and boundaries make you difficult to control. So remember this idea carefully. Every time you protect your boundaries, you are teaching people how to treat you. And once that lesson becomes clear, toxic behavior starts disappearing. Now, the third shift is something even deeper, because it changes the energy you bring into every interaction. The third thing that makes toxic people stop targeting you is when you stop reacting emotionally. This is something many people don't notice. Toxic people often survive on reactions. They provoke, they criticize, they say things designed to trigger you, not because they care about the topic, but because they enjoy the reaction. Anger, frustration, defensiveness. These reactions give them attention, and attention is exactly what they want. But something powerful happens when you remove that reaction. When someone tries to provoke you and you respond calmly, no raised voice, no emotional argument, just calm energy. Suddenly the situation changes, because toxic behavior depends on emotional fuel. Without that fuel, the manipulation loses power. Imagine someone throwing a spark, but there is no fire to catch it. Eventually, they stop trying, because it becomes pointless. This doesn't mean you tolerate disrespect. It means you respond with control. Calmness is not weakness. Calmness is power. And people who control their emotions are extremely difficult to manipulate. So remember this carefully. The moment you stop reacting impulsively, toxic people start losing interest in targeting you. Now, the fourth shift is something that changes how people see you. The fourth thing that makes toxic people stop targeting you is when you become comfortable walking away. This is where real power begins. Because toxic people often rely on one assumption. They assume you will stay in the argument, stay in the toxic conversation, stay in the unhealthy dynamic. They expect you to keep explaining, keep defending, keep trying to fix the situation. And as long as you keep doing that, they keep control. But the moment you become willing to walk away, everything changes. You stop wasting energy on pointless arguments. You stop trying to convince people who don't want to understand. And instead, you protect your peace. Sometimes that means ending a conversation. Sometimes that means limiting contact. And sometimes it means walking away completely. Because one of the strongest signals you can send in life is this: I value my peace more than this conflict. And toxic people recognize that signal quickly. When they see you are not emotionally dependent, not desperate for validation, not afraid to leave, they lose the ability to control you. And once control disappears, so does their interest in targeting you. Because toxic people don't chase strong boundaries. They chase easy access. And when you remove that access, you remove the target from your back. So remember this final idea. Confidence is not about fighting every battle. Sometimes the strongest move is simply knowing when to walk away. But here's the most important thing to remember after everything we discussed. Toxic people don't stop targeting you because they suddenly become better people. They stop because you stop being an easy target. In this video, we talked about 4 powerful shifts. First, stop seeking their approval. The moment your confidence no longer depends on them, their control disappears. Second, set clear boundaries, because every time you protect your space, you teach people how to treat you. Third, stop reacting emotionally. Toxic behavior survives on reactions, and calm confidence removes that fuel. And fourth, be willing to walk away, because the moment you value your peace more than their drama, you take back your power. And that brings us to something extremely important: your time, your attention, your energy. These are the most valuable resources you have, and protecting them is a skill. In fact, in the previous video, we talked about something closely related: 5 silent study boundaries that make people respect your time. Because learning how to protect your time while studying is the same mindset that protects your life from toxic people. When people see that you respect your own time, they begin respecting it too. So if you haven't watched that video yet, I highly recommend watching it next. Because when you combine these 2 ideas, protecting your energy and protecting your time, you build a mindset that is very difficult to manipulate. And that mindset is what creates a strong future. So stay aware, protect your peace, and keep building a stronger mind. I'll see you in the next video.